Hello students, today we are going to see chapter number 3, that is Introduction to Goods and Service Tax, that is also called GST of Standard 11 Account. So here the name is itself is telling us in this chapter we are going to learn about the Goods and Service Tax. As we know that all the government they are levying tax to meet the economic need of the country. As we know that government can run the country with the help of taxes only. So here in India we know there are different government, that is state government, central government, even there is a government of union territory. So all of them they are levying tax from different people, and because there was on not one tax, it was different tax that was levied by different government. It was sales tax, purchase tax, entertainment tax, service tax, VAT. So this was the different tax, and the provision of different tax was different, and to comply with that and to make the management of all the different tax was very complex. And to come out from this complex system, to make it very easier, government has introduced goods and service tax on 1st July 2017, and it was because the tax was only one tax. The slogan was given that one nation, one tax. So let's see the introduction of the GST. So here, to meet economic need, of country, government collect, government are collect taxes. These taxes can be direct taxes or indirect taxes. Very first is a direct taxes and indirect taxes. And these taxes are collected by different government, that is central government, state government, and government of union territory. These taxes are collected by very first is a central government. The second is a state government. And it can be by government of union territory. So taxes can be collected by any government, and because of the different taxes, there was a complexity. Because of different taxes, collected by different government. taxes collected by different government, it was complex. And to eliminate this complexity, there was a tax introduced by central government. Tax was introduced by government, and that tax is called, that is, goods and service tax. And the slogan was given, goods and service tax, and the slogan was given, one nation, one tax. And it was introduced, the tax was introduced on July 2017. So this was the day, very first time the tax was introduced by the government. As we know, this was the only one tax by all the government. All the government means the central government as well as state government as well as government of union territory. So only one tax was introduced by three of them, and that's why it is called one nation, one tax. And in that, as we know that all the taxes of central government and state government was cancelled. So here we can say that the taxes of central government plus taxes of state government and government of union territory is equal to GST. So here we know the taxes of central government was central sales tax. And even we know the tax of state government was value added tax. Again, the central government, another tax of the central government was the sales tax, and there was a service tax. Here it was a sales tax, purchase tax, and there was a entertainment tax. So all the tax were eliminated by the government. All this tax was cancelled, and only one new tax was introduced. So this is called GST. So students, you will note down this. Then we are going to see further how many acts were introduced by the government and what are the feature of the central GST that we are going to see next. So here there was a fire act which was in force to make the uniformity and make it very easier. There were 5 tax which was introduced by the government under the GST Act. That was very first was a central goods and service tax, that is called central GST. So here to bring uniformity and object orientation. File tax, file GST Act was formed. In that, very first was CGST, that is called Central Goods and Service Tax. Act, that is also called in short CGST Act. The other one was State Goods and Service Tax. Act, that is called SGST Act. The third one was Union Territory. Union Territories Goods and Service Tax. That is also called UT GST Act. Here, Act. Act. Then there was another act. It was called Integrated Goods and Service Tax Act. That is called IGST Act. And the last one was that was Goods and Service State Compensation Act. The last one was Goods and Service in the bracket State Compensation Act. So it was called GST Compensation Act. So these 5 acts were formed to compliance with the GST. Students, you may note down this. Then we are going to see the feature of goods and service tax. Let's see the meaning of GST and features, special features of GST. As we know that GST means the tax which is levied on the supply of goods and service is known as a GST. So this is the meaning of GST. Which is applicable on supply of goods and service is known as GST. So here, as we know that GST is a short form of goods and service tax. So here we are going to write GST on behalf of goods and service tax. Now let's see the special feature of GST. Very first was one tax. As we know that only one tax was levied on goods as well as service, that was GST. So very first feature is one tax. The second feature was the tax collected on supply of goods. So here we know that generally the tax is collected on the production or on the sales of the goods and service. But here in the GST, the tax is collected only on the supply of goods and service. So the second feature was tax collected on supply of goods and service. The third feature of GST was the GST had its special council. So here in the council, the representative of all the states were there who was in the council, and even the finance minister of central is a chairman of the council. So the third feature is a GST council. And the fourth feature is a GST rate. So as we know that the GST rates are simple and it was levied equally from all the states. So there was no differentiation between the different states, and that rates are given in the schedule, and according to that only tax is levied from the goods and service. So there are the special rates that are applicable to the goods and service. The fifth one was a import and goods and service. So fifth feature of GST is a import and goods and service. Import and goods and service tax. So here whatever input is there, for that input credit is given, and for that there is a special provision in the act. So here on the whatever tax is collected, that tax is distributed amongst the different government, that is central government as well as state government or union territory. That will be distributed amongst the government. So that is the tax distribution. And the next feature of GST is a tax determination. So here tax is already determined and it is already prescribed in the schedule, and according to that only tax is levied on the different goods and service. Next is a predetermined tax rate structure. So the tax is already determined and according to that only tax is levied. So the 10th is a 5 GST Act is formed all on for the GST. So 5 GST Act. As we discussed before, there are 5 acts which was formed under the GST. That was state GST tax, union territory GST tax, central GST tax, again integrated GST Act, and the last one is a goods and service state compensation act. So 5 act was formed under the GST Act. And the 11th feature is a uniformity. So there was a uniformity amongst the different states on the levy of tax. So whatever tax was levied, that was on a uniform matter. So these are the special feature of a GST, and because of that the GST was a special act for the India. You may note down this feature of the GST. Okay, let's try to understand how the tax is levied on the supply of goods or service or both within the state and outside the state. So here we know that when there is a supply of goods or service or both within the state, the tax is levied is called CGST as well as SGST, and it is also called intra-state supply. And when there is a goods or service that is supplied outside the state, that is called interstate transfer or interstate supply, and for that the tax is levied is called integrated goods and service tax. Let's try to understand with the figure. So here supply of goods or service or both. So here supply can be of goods or service, or it can be together both. So how we are going to understand the tax and the tax structure? So here we know that the supply can be within the state. So here supply within the state or union territory. leviable taxes are, very first tax is there. As we know that the tax is going to be leviable by the state. So it is called state GST. Okay. So the very first tax that is levied by state is called state goods and service tax. And the other tax that is going to be levied by is central goods and service tax. So this is for the supply of goods and service within the state or union territory. If the supply of goods and service are out of the state or union territory, then how we are going to treat that the supply of goods and service are out of state or union territory. And here again it is called interstate supply. And the leviable taxes is only one tax, and it is called integrated goods and service tax. So here, when there is an out of the state and union territory, there is only one tax that is going to be levied, and it is called integrated goods and service tax. And from that, the central government is going to compensate half of the tax to the state government. So here, there will be a compensation of tax to the state government. So this is outside the state or union territory, and this is the within the state and union territory. When there is a supply of goods and service within the state, there will be a two tax. Half of the tax will be paid to the state government or union territory, and half of the tax will be paid to the central government. So that is called central goods and service tax. So this is how the tax is going to be levied on with the GST. You will note down this. Then we are going to see the how the tax is levied on the purchase and sales. That is input tax and output tax that we are going to see next. Let's see the detail of applicable of GST at the time of purchase or sales of goods or service or both. So let's see that. Details of applicable of GST. GST for purchase. Purchase means acquisition of goods. Acquisition is also called purchase of goods. So here purchase and sales. Sales is called supply. Of what? So of goods or service or both. So here we are going to see that applicable of which GST at the time of purchase or sale for what. So here again we have already seen that there is a supply within the state or union territory, and it is called intrastate supply. And again there is another supply that is called supply outside the state or union territory, that is called interstate supply. So for that the different tax is levied, that we already know, that CGST, SGST for the intrastate and IGST for the outside the state. So here for the purchase, that is acquisition, and for the acquisition we are going to make input CGST and SGST in the for the within state, and for the purchase of with outside the state we are going to write input IGST, and for the supply or sales of the goods, service or both we are going to say for the sales it will be output CGST, SGST, and output integrated goods and service tax. So this is how we are going to make the difference between the purchase and sales. Let's see. So here let's make one table for that. That is serial number. Again here we are going to see that transaction. So transaction is of which type that we are going to see. So here it can be acquisition of goods and service, and it can be supply of goods and service. Again it can be supply within the state. State or union territory. And here supply outside state or union territory. So here we know, we already discussed that when there is a within state, it is called intrastate transfer. Intrastate supply, and this is called interstate supply. Okay, so this is now here again let's write the very first thing, that is acquisition or purchase of goods or service or both. So here acquisition, that is also called purchase of what? So goods or service or both. So here purchase of goods or service or both, and for that the leviable tax will be input central goods and service tax, and another tax will be input state. Or see here, when there is a state, there will be a state goods and service tax, but if there is a union territory, then there will be union territory goods and service tax. So there will be a for the acquisition of goods and service within the state or union territory, there will be a two tax, that is input central goods and service tax and input state or this was the for the purchase of the goods, and the second one will be for the sales of the goods. So that will be sales is also called supply. Into bracket we can write sales of goods or service. Or both. So here it will be for the supply it will be very first was a output, central goods and service tax. And the second one was an output, state or union territory. Union territory goods and service tax. So then this will be for the sales, and the same for the outside the state. For the outside state sales tax will be called output IGST. Output integrated goods and service tax. So this is how we are going to write for the purchase. It will be input, and for the sales it will be output. So student, you may note down this. Then we are going to see the benefit of GST. Okay, let's see the benefit of GST. In that, very first is a one tax. As we know that the GST is levied only one tax for goods and service. So there is no difference between goods and service, and all the taxes are levied under the one tax act. So very first benefit of GST is a very first is a one tax. So it is taking only one tax for goods and service. The second is a simple tax system. So here before GST there were plenty taxes, and there was a complexion in a management of the tax, and that was made simple in a GST. So all the tax supplier, even if the government can work with the simplicity. So there was a simple tax system. And the third one is a removal of double taxation. Before GST, there was a central sales tax, even a value-added tax, even an entertainment tax, service tax. There were central excise duty, then custom duty. There were plenty tax, and because of that, there was the tax was levied on maybe 2 times or more than that on a single goods or service. That was removal with the help of GST. So removal of a double taxes. low, and because of that the price was also reduced. So there was a benefit of price reduction because of GST. The next is a price uniformity, uniform price. So before it was like that, the state were levied different taxes if the goods is supplied outside the state, and because of that the same goods was having different price in a different state, and because of GST there was a uniform tax outside the different state. So the price of the different goods remained the same in a different state. So there was a uniform price in a price of the goods in a different state. The next is a reduction in a tax aviation. The sixth one is a reduction in tax aviation. Tax aviation. So here we know that when there is a burden of taxes, if the taxes are more, people they like to aviate that tax and they don't want to pay the tax. But when the tax is less, people they are eagerly paying the tax. So because of low tax rate, the people they are paying the tax, and tax aviation were reduced because of GST. The next is the input tax credit. So here, whatever the tax we are paying on the purchase, that is acquisition of goods, and the whatever tax we supposed to pay at the time of supply of goods. So the difference is only we supposed to pay at the time of supply. So whatever tax we have paid at the time of acquisition of goods, that tax is taken as a credit at the time of sales of the goods. So that will be the major benefit of the GST. So that is input tax credit. The next is a useful for economy. Useful for economy. So here we know that when there is a simple tax act and people they are able to operate nicely, and there is no double taxation, so people they are paying tax without tax evasion. So it will be helping to economy to develop more. So that will be useful to the Indian economy. The next is a balanced regional development. So here we know that because of the uniform tax in a different state, so all the state can develop balance with the balance. So here the uniform tax has made all the state develop nicely, and all the state can come out their economy with the balanced tax method. So that will be helpful in a development of each and every state and each and every region of the country. So that was the next benefit of a GST. Afterward, there was a 10th one, and it was a reduction in an administrative work. So because the complex system of tax levy was removal and simple system of tax was introduced, and with the help of them, the administration work of the government become easy, and people they are also very they can also work very easily. So it would be very helpful in the administrative work of the GST. The 11th was the reduction in a government operation. then there was a central excise rate tax, then there was entertainment tax, service tax. So for all the tax there was a different people, they were working for the operation of a different tax. And instead of that, all the different people, only one office, one council and one tax act was introduced, and that was very helpful to government for the operation of a tax. So this was the this 11 was the benefit of the GST, and because of this the GST was introduced in a country, and it was under the slogan of one nation one tax. And there was again different schedule 1 to 6 schedule where there was a GST rate were given, and for that again we know that for the CGST and SGST it was the half of the IGST, because the IGST is the only single tax which is levied for the interstate, and for the intrastate there were two different tax, that is GST as well as SGST. So the rate was also given, GST rate were also given in the GST rate schedule 1 to 6. So this was the very basic information about the GST, and I think in this chapter the only introduction part is given to the students for the GST. In our next chapter we are going to see very important book, that is the first book of an account, and it is a journal. Thank you students for the watching this video.